Going Beyond is a presentation of Beyond Housing, helping entire communities become better places to live with RareGem Productions. Reliance Bank is the proud sponsor of today's Going Beyond program. Let Reliance Bank help you get what you need from your bank. Phone number 314-569-7200 or find Reliance Bank online at reliancebankstl.com. Reliance Bank.
Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
We're going beyond.
Today on Going Beyond, a deeper conversation with Vontriece McDowell, Director of Community Engagement with Beyond Housing.
The reality is we all have a responsibility, I believe, in making sure that our children, our future, are taken care of and that they have the resources they need to be successful. And I think we all know the power that education holds in someone's life. So it is our responsibility, regionally, nationally, globally, to ensure that all of our children have access to a quality education and the resources they need to be successful.
Diving into the issues of school transfers in the Normandy School District.
Beyond Housing is going beyond.
That and more ahead today on Going Beyond with Chris Krehmeyer, right after this. Reliance Bank is focused on meeting the banking needs of the entire St. Louis community. That's because Reliance Bank, unlike the big national banks, is locally owned and operated. It's run by people you know, and that's important when you're looking for a personal checking account that's really free, a mortgage, or a loan for your business. So stop in and introduce yourself at one of their 20 branches throughout the St. Louis area. Reliance Bank, making money a little friendlier.
Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Register today for the 2014 MoCan Minority Business Symposium, Bridging Rhetoric to Reality, on Thursday, May 8th and Friday, May 9th. This symposium will provide business development and partnership opportunities for small and large businesses. We will hold this event at the Union Station Hotel in downtown St. Louis. Visit mocansymposium.com for sponsorship, registration, and event information, or call 314-454-9675. 314-454-WORK. RareGem Productions proudly presenting the positive. Join Citizens for Modern Transit as they host the Great Race on May 8th. Team Transit, Team Bike, Team Car Share, and Team Carpool will battle to see which transportation mode can travel from Clayton to Shrewsbury the fastest. The race is culminating at the Shrewsbury Metro Link Station with a Metro Market featuring live music, food trucks, and fun from 5 to 7 p.m. Come out and celebrate. All the info is available at cmt-stl.org. RareGem Productions proudly presenting the positive.
Hi, I'm Randy Meyer from the Boeing Company, and I work in community engagement and corporate citizenship for the St. Louis offices. I believe that the work I can do and the work I'm allowed to do by the company really makes a difference in the St. Louis community, and I believe in going beyond.
We're going beyond. Welcome to this edition of Going Beyond. I'm your host, Chris Krehmeyer, President and CEO of Beyond Housing. Today we're going to continue our long conversation around the Normandy School District, but we're going to do a little something different today. We're going to ask the listeners for some help. We're going to ask the listeners to participate in ensuring that the children of our community get what we're framing as education equity. What's fair and what's right and what's just for the kids in our community, to make sure that the leaders in Jefferson City hear the voice of our community loud and clear. Joining me in the conversation is the Director of Community Engagement for Beyond Housing, Ms. Vontriece McDowell. Vontriece, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Vontriece, we have a bus trip that is planned for next week. Could you please tell our listeners kind of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how they can participate and help the kids and the families in the Normandy School District?
Yes, we're asking the community to come out and support Normandy School District and the children of the community on Wednesday, August 30th, 7:30 a.m. We're meeting at Viking Hall, and that is at Normandy High School at the corner of St. Charles Rock Road and Lucas and Hunt. If they're interested in attending, they can just call me the day before, 691-6674. The purpose of this trip, we did a trip last month, and I was with the students to try to go out and just say that we're supporting our school district as well. But this time, over the past few weeks since that trip, we've noticed that the Department of Education and Secondary Education, also known as DESE, has continued to ignore the community, ignore the students, ignore their parents, and not have a quality conversation or a conversation at all around the future of the school district in this community and the students' future. And for that reason, we think it's time to take the community and take these parents and any supporters to DESE and confront DESE and ask DESE why that is. And also, Normandy School District has developed a reformation plan of its own. And so the question is, why hasn't DESE provided any feedback to this plan? There have been statements that DESE hasn't read the plan. So if they have, can the school district and the community receive feedback on whether or not they believe this is a quality plan and an opportunity for the school district and the parents to take control in educating their students themselves?
All right, so let's give our listeners a quick reminder of kind of the status of where we're at. So the state legislature, who, by the way, has been more open and receptive to the conversation with the folks from Normandy. Again, the emphasis of the bus trip is the staff of the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, the ones who have overview of all public education school districts in the state of Missouri. So the state legislature has granted $1.5 million in additional support to help Normandy get through the school year. And as we speak right now, they are still having conversations around the long-term fix, the long-term tuition fix, to make sure that Normandy, Riverview, and any other school districts that might become unaccredited don't become bankrupt because of the unintended consequences of the transfer law that the Supreme Court put in place. So the context of where we're at right now is the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education today could do a lot of different things at their discretion relative to what's happening with Normandy. And what Vontriece just described was the frustration of folks in community with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, in that, as far as we could tell from our perspectives, that there's not much of a partnership around what's in the best interest of the children of Normandy and what's in the best interest of the residents in the Normandy School District and folks who pay taxes to make the school district work. So the intent of the bus trip, the intent of our visit in our state capital is to raise the specter of the kids in this community deserve the attention, deserve the conversation with the state to ensure that the community's voice is being heard, and quite frankly that the State Department of Elementary and Secondary Education understand that there is a thorough, detailed reformation plan that is in place, that the community and the school district deserve feedback around. Does the state think this is a good idea, not good idea? Parts of it are good, parts are not good. It's great, it's wonderful. Give some feedback, because this is a partnership. It's not about the community versus the state. It's about how do we do this together? How do we ensure we provide the best educational opportunities for our children? So again, let's talk a little bit about the kind of the logistics here, Vontriece. We're going to meet at Viking Hall at the Normandy High School campus on the corner of Lucas and Hunt and St. Charles Rock Road. So then what's going to happen?
So we're asking people to meet at Viking Hall because we provide an opportunity for us to get together and discuss the talking points and the message for that day. Obviously, there's a lot of passion, a lot of emotions floating around. There are some people that are frustrated and very angry, and rightfully so. However, we need to have a controlled message. We want to be heard, and for that reason, our message needs to be controlled and clear. Once we're there and we do that, we'll load the buses by 8 o'clock, between 8 and 8:30, and we're hoping to be on the road by 9. We want to arrive in Jeff City no later than 11:30. And we'll be arriving to DESE and not the state capitol. When we get to DESE, we'll have a few community residents, maybe a mayor from the area, and then also hopefully some regional leaders that will address the group.
So again, the idea here is we're asking folks, the listeners of this show, if they have interest, if they have the energy, if they have the time to please join us and advocate and fight for their community, for the educational rights of the children of Normandy, to ensure that the rumor I heard is that the folks at DESE said, well, the district doesn't have community support, which we believe is categorically not true, which we believe is does a disservice and is disrespectful to folks who have been committed to supporting the district through these challenging times, and quite frankly, to hold the district accountable as well, right? So I've heard some people suggest that somehow, that we're de facto saying, well, it's been okay that the school district for a long time hasn't done a great job with the kids, and that is not the case at all. Matter of fact, to the contrary, we're holding the district to higher expectations, and the Reformation Plan, and Dr. McNichols, the superintendent, who's just now completing his first full year, has the support of the community because things are beginning to change. So again, the idea here is to send the message that this community does indeed care about its children and this school district, and wants and quite frankly will respectfully demand that his voice be heard. So we're going to get up there. We're going to, make some presentations to make sure our voice is heard. What else can anybody who wants to come out expect during this trip?
That would be, once we get to DESE, it would be very interesting. It's going to be some exciting energy and some positive messaging, and definitely a time to advocate for youth, something that we should be doing regardless. And then we'll be able to continue to engage and be involved throughout the summer, because it won't end there. It won't end with this bus trip. So
again, whether the analogy of the squeaky wheel gets the grease or not, I think there can be this mistaken notion that folks in community aren't engaged, and folks in community aren't caring about what's happening, and we think the exact opposite is true. We believe that that this community is engaged, and then this community is clear on what it believes in and what it stands for. Again, I did hear, and I can't confirm this, I did hear there was some notion that the furor over Dr. McCoy in Ferguson Florissant School District, which seemed to die down when the election came with the new school board, where only one of the three existing school board members was defeated, is somehow giving folks in our state capital the sense that folks in community here in St. Louis won't really stand up and fight for what they believe in, that they may raise their voice temporarily, but they won't truly be engaged long-term in the success of what's happening in their community. And I'd love for us to be able to show that is absolutely not true. It's absolutely not true here in the Normandy School District. It's not true in the initiative called 24-1, where Beyond Housing and the leaders of the 24 communities, the school district, and many, many other partners have been working side by side with residents of this community to say there are great things happening here. We are going to stand up for our kids. We are going to ensure that we provide every opportunity for anyone living in this geography to lead a successful and a full life. And I'd love for us to have the problem, Vontriece, that too many people call you that you have to ask me to say, Chris, we need some more buses, because we got too many people for the buses that we have allocated. So one more time, tell folks the logistics and tell them what we plan to do on Wednesday, April 30th.
Yes, please join us Wednesday, April 30th, 7:30 a.m. at Viking Hall, which is located in Normandy High School, St. Charles Rock Road, and Lucas and Hunt. We will be loading buses to go to Jeff City and have a conversation with DESE.
And then as we close, Vontriece, I know that this subject is important to you. It's important to the work of Beyond Housing, but I know it's important to you as well. Can you give our listeners some sense of why you think this is so important, and why we need as many voices, as many people to join us to head to the state capitol?
Mm-hmm. The reality is we all have a responsibility, I believe, in making sure that our children, our future, are taken care of, and that they have the resources they need to be successful. And I think we all know the power that education holds in someone's life. So it is our responsibility, regionally, nationally, globally, to ensure that all of our children have access to a quality education and the resources they need to be successful. And there's no reason why that can't be present in their community. There's no reason why they have to be broken up and divided and bust out to neighborhoods that they are unfamiliar with. There's no reason why parents and staff and children have to sit 4 months out before the next school year and wonder where their child will be educated. So that's why I think this is very important.
All right, so if those of you listening who can hear my voice and you believe, as Vontriece McDowell, the Director of Community Engagement for Beyond Housing, does, that the children of the Normandy School District, the families of the Normandy School District deserve the right to have the best schools possible, to have the existing reformation plan that is in place by Dr. McNichols as he finishes his first year as superintendent deserves to be carried out, and that the school district deserves both the resources and the time to be successful. Join us. Come to Viking Hall at Normandy High School, 7:30 a.m. Wednesday, April 30th, and join us as we caravan up to our state capitol to make sure that the collective voice of our community is heard. Vontriece, thanks so much for your time. Thanks so much for coordinating and leading this, and I look forward to our time in Jefferson City.
Thank you, Chris.
Reliance Bank is pleased to sponsor today's Going Beyond radio show. With 20 locations throughout the St. Louis area, Reliance Bank, your locally owned hometown bank, is making money a little friendlier.
Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
We're going beyond.
Going Beyond is a presentation of Beyond Housing, helping entire communities become better places to live with RareGem Productions. Proudly promoting, presenting, and producing positive programming.
Neighborhood is where you live, and we want to keep it strong and vibrant. This is Chris Krehmeyer with Beyond Housing. We are going beyond.
Chris Krehmeyer, President and CEO of Beyond Housing. Located at 4156 Manchester, phone number 314-533-0600. The only organization in the St. Louis region that offers access to affordable housing. Wherever we work, our goal is to help transform people, families, and communities so that they achieve the skills, strategies, resources, and commitment to succeed for the long term. See our work at beyondhousing.org. Podcast for Going Beyond can be heard, downloaded, and shared by visiting hallelujah1600.com. Listed under the music tab, on demand. Going Beyond is another positive production of RareGem Productions.